Good morning and welcome to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. We're brought to you by Lytle Land and Cattle. We're hanging out in the Potosi Life studio. The mall walkers are walking at a great pace, getting ready for Christmas. Santa's probably not here yet. Early, that lady's on the phone, maybe asking when he will be here. But we are here ready to cover so much going on. Not only is the Christmas season here, but there is football, there's high school football, state champions have been crowned. Grandpas are getting filled. Lots going on. Hodge, Misty, and Andy Penny in. Josh helping celebrate his nephew and the Wall Hawks winning their first football state championship. Misty, how are we? Very merry and bright in pink.
I know. Look, I got my nails done yesterday. I love pink. It's my favorite color.
Which is good because if you were watching last weekend on Facebook,
I peeled them all off.
There was the streak of those nails ended last Friday.
Well, y'all don't know this because you don't get your nails done, but for the ladies
hey,
who are
that's
listening,
how do you not know? That's a big.
I mean, I can tell from here.
I just maybe have a bad lady.
Sometimes you go to a salon and sometimes it just doesn't hit right. And I had actually just gotten my nails done a week prior, and they were already peeling, and so I was irritated and I just started peeling them all off. So yesterday, got the freshies done, and I'm looking pink and merry.
So did you went pink for Christmas is almost over? Get ready for Valentine's. What was the color?
I just love pink. Okay. I'm just a pink.
Red
is not my color. Okay. I'm a pink girl. And we're going to be at the beach in a little bit, so I thought I'm gonna, be merry and bright on the beaches of Mexico.
Yeah, Christmas in the sand.
I mean, exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Zach Brown song or somebody that could sing. Toes are supposed to be there, but we'll see. Lots going on again. Hodge, Misty, and Josh here. There's so much happening.
Andy.
What did I say, Josh? Good night. I'm so used to it.
I always wanted to be Josh.
Yeah, well,
he is pretty cool.
He's a cool fellow. Andy, Hodge, and Misty here. Friday morning again, the Friday right before Christmas. Hope everybody's well. A lot of people got out of school yesterday. Some may be having one more day today. But school is not out for summer, but a bit of a break. It is, to me, we call it the most wonderful time of the year, which because of so many reasons, especially for those of us as believers and how things changed on the Jesus was born. You go to the flip of the sports calendar, the most wonderful time of the year, you got just about every level of football happening with meaning. From, I don't know, there may be a Pop Warner team playing for the Super Bowl. There's a travel team somewhere.
There is.
But you think about it, we've got state champions being crowned as early as Wednesday this past week with six-man football all weekend long up until Saturday night. We'll have high school football happening in Jerry World. Championships will be crowned. Start the memes. Yes, the only championships crowned will be those of high school students, not the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. And then the college football playoff kicks off tonight, the CFP. It's on our Facebook page. Go check out, sign up. We're not doing a bowl thing because you never know when a bowl be. There may be a bowl being played right now that we just don't know of. The pink nails, the pink nail bowl.
It would be all pink.
Yeah, all pink everywhere. Yeah, sell out at breast cancer awareness in December.
Exactly.
So all this is happening. So check out our college football playoff bracket. We're giving away a Hodgeback prize package, which will involve a lot of Land and Cattle, Potosi Live, and Mulligan's. And so just check out who's going to pick bracket challenge, not only in March. And then, of course, the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, 1% chance of getting in the playoffs. We'll talk more about that later. But there's been a lot of stuff happening outside of Dallas, big games, big moves. And so we'll start off with our Lawrence Hall headline report. Last night, a very important, you may not care because you don't have interest in anything happening out in the West Coast, but last night's NFL game for a Thursday night game was probably one of the most meaningful ones they had. Seattle and LA trying to number one seed in a thrilling 30-37 Seahawks win last night. And Andy, you had mentioned it. It was one of those 30-14. You thought the Rams were going to run away with it.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on it, to be honest with you, 30-14. And I've heard, for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, the Rams are the best team in the NFL. So they're at home. They're up 16.
Well, they were at Seattle.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
apologies. Yes,
yeah.
it was at Seattle. My apologies. But they're up 16. Best team in football.
With probably the MVP having a chance to be the NFL MVP, leading the Rams.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford and what he's done, and he had 450 yards passing last night, so a great night for him. But kudos to Seattle; they made the plays, and this one alters our Super Bowl party plans because it's going to be hard to win in Seattle for anybody. So, not to say that the Seahawks are going to win the NFC, but they took a giant step last night, and kudos for going for two late. They're in overtime. About 3 minutes left. They, I don't know what the tie scenarios were, but they said we don't care.
All I heard was Al Michaels and Herb Street in the booth saying, a tie does not benefit them to win, and so they said, hey, let's go for two, and wide open, and they had a punt return. Rashid, who was a trade pickup, returns a punt for a touchdown, and then they go for two early. And what thought to be was an incomplete pass, a ball rolling around in the end zone, picked up by a Seattle Seahawk, and come to find out, after further review, they deemed that the pass was a lateral, thrown backwards, rolling around. Kid picked up a winning lottery ticket in the end zone, and they ended up being a 2-point version, counted as good, 30-14. Now I think the Rams. I think the Rams. I didn't win because I'm in a little survivor. Yeah, one of my teams. And but my thing last night said a lot of Sam Darnold. He's kind of been the guy that bounced around, and he had this big season last year in Minnesota, and the reason he's in Seattle is because he had a big year in Minnesota. But he also became a pumpkin at the end of last year, and a lot of questions. And he threw a couple of picks last night, but found a way. And Cooper Kupp, former Super Bowl MVP, former Ram, has a huge catch after having a fumble early on in the game. It was must-watch TV last night if you found it on Prime as the Rams win. Still, I said there's a lot of football left. There's only 2 regular season games left, but it'll be interesting how well I think the NFL football playoffs on both sides, no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow, a faltering, not sure who they are, Philadelphia Eagles team. I think if you were to put a bracket out for this, you could pick anybody and feel good about it.
And I love it. Like the intrigue right now of the NFL playoffs, I haven't had it in a while. Like kudos to Mahomes and the Chiefs, and kudos to the Eagles, and kudos to the Ravens and all that. I'm kind of liking the fresh and new this year. I like the parity of the NFL. I like that some teams have kind of come out of the woodworks and decided to be a postseason contender this year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I like it. It feels a little March Madness.
It does.
I'm like, this is not right, but I love it.
Well, and you do, because you now have people, and we'll talk about it when we get to our NFL segment a little bit later after we have Brandon McCullough, who's going to join us on our Pest Patrol phone line. That's the ding to remind me to text him. Is to let him know that, or to when it is, because you have some people like Josh Allen who now the pressure may be even higher to get to a Super Bowl, because you're not having to beat Mahomes, you're not having to beat Lamar, you're not having to do blank. And you proved last week when you came back from behind to beat the Patriots, who thought maybe they were going to take over your division. Interesting. So
that was a great game.
Yes,
unbelievable.
Gosh.
And Josh Allen just kind of says, all right, I do have a cape back here. We're going to see what happens.
And I'm going to throw up on the sidelines every game. It's no big deal. I'm still going to come
back.
Well,
there's takeoff nail in rally. He has puke in rally.
Yeah, seriously.
Josh Allen there as well. Big news again, our Lawrence Hall headline report, Lawrence Hall AvalonOnline.com, where you can get your new car, truck, or SUV. Go find them. They'll be glad to put a bow on a car for you for this Christmas. But this past week and yesterday, one of our favorites of numerous guests on the show, ASU head football coach Keith Patterson, gets a new contract deal. There was our boy Zion who wrote an article a few weeks ago about how important it was to be sure you signed Coach Patterson and extended him And ACU did that. And Misty, we feel like obviously a right choice for the Wildcats.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've said it probably 5 different times. I mean, the very first time I met Coach KP, he is just a good dude. Like, when you meet somebody, you just feel like they're positive energy. I always think, does he ever get mad at the players? Like, he's just so calm and he's cool. And just kudos to ACU for getting it done. And I'm so glad that KP is staying for 3 more years.
And Andy, doing a lot of the ACU stuff that you get to do, we'd mentioned before the show at our pre-show meeting, that other jobs might have popped up and had interest in him, but the fit at ACU is better of a glass slipper.
And obviously the X's and O's, the wins and losses have proven themselves in the 4 years that he's been here. I've been fortunate to be in his office and, prep for games and broadcasts and such. And just to see some of the notes on his marker board as far as being a visionary for the program, as far as we're going to win games, but how do we take the program to the next level? How do we instill culture? He's done that. That's no problem. But, how do we raise money? How do we, enhance facilities? How do we make this a premier FCS program, not just wins and losses, but attractive just to come and be a part of the AC community? It's impressive. That's a quality extension yesterday.
Well, and not only the quality is, but and I don't care where you're at, you want to find a way to win games and you want to win championships. And in the FCS world, you have a chance to be in a playoff run. You're not like Tulane and James Madison, where in my opinion they need to just create a FBS
second tier
group of 5 playoff system and let somebody be a champion. FCS does that. Division 2 does that. Division 3 does that. And so in that, KP is not only creating a culture where we got facility, we're going to try to find the right kids to go compete to win. And they had a chance. They had a chance to be heading to Montana. Unfortunately, came up short against SFA, but they had a chance because they've created players that, yes, they may be here for a cup of coffee or 2 years and they go to the portal or whatever, but they're going to be able to compete. And so they've done a really good job at that. And so congratulations to ACU and congratulations to Coach Keith Patterson and future Wildcats, knowing that your coach is secure at ACU. When we come back, a guy that's secure right in the booth at AT&T Stadium. He's probably not there yet. Gates don't open. But Brandon McCullough from Big Country Press will join us talk about his first 2 days at AT&T. He's there on the field today. Lots to cover, much back. But again, Brandon McCullough on our Big Country Electric My Town segment, dialing in on our Pest Patrol phone line. We'll be back with more Hodgeback, sports life, and everything in between.
Woo!
When are you leaving for your trip?
We'll go the 28th and then fly out the morning of the 29th. And then we'll be back the 2nd. So Monday through Friday. So yeah, and our kids, they know we're going somewhere, but they don't know where. So they'll find out on Christmas Eve. So
I'm gonna go make sure.
And they've been. We went to Cabo for Ethan / birthday. So there was like 18 of us, families, and all kids that have grown up together that had just graduated high school. That was so fun. And the kids say, they're just like, what is this? Same. I mean, that was my first too. Like, we all experienced together as a family. So that was fun. But they think we're going to Breckenridge, Colorado. And so they was guessing. And I'm like, oh, you're going to be so surprised.
Packing for that.
So we'll see. I'm jazzed about it because we're the mountains too, but we're beach people, family. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to just, my kids. And we're going with some friends and their family, and it's going to be a good time of fellowship and grief.
We've done 2 cruises on Christmas week.
Fun.
Like on the boat on Christmas Day. And at first I was just like, this isn't traditional.
Right.
Man,
I've never been on a cruise, and I'll be honest, I'm a little scared. I get motion sickness, and I'm a little
You'll be
in
fine.
the ocean, but I'm just like, I know it's dumb, and seeing it scared me too. I'm like, they're gonna kill you. It's stupid, irrational fears,
I got you.
Brandon.
Morning, y'all.
All right, there you go. Good. All right, I got you in queue. Hold that thought. The cruise thing is so much fun because you're all you Marriott.
I know, and I know it's me. I'm the problem. Like I can admit when I'm wrong.
Fix it. You
I
can fix
know.
it.
I just they're gonna kill me.
Brandon, have you ever been on a cruise? Brandon, have you been on a cruise?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he's been on there. I can't.
Apparently, I'm the only loser
not
that
a
hasn't
loser.
been on a cruise.
Can you hear Misty?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Because they may have some questions. That's good.
Yeah.
Talk. Can you talking?
Brandon.
Hello?
All right. So you could.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard everybody.
Okay, good. Because they can't hear you. Because I'll have to undo it. That's the goal for January. I'm going to do that between now and the next, not the second, but the next one. Is headphones, everybody. Pretty exciting game on that last one.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
Oh, so y'all can hear him?
Barely.
Yeah.
Coming off your phone.
Yeah. It's
Oh, coming off of that phone.
yeah.
Yeah, just barely.
Okay. Hey, and they came real close for covering that onside kick. That was the
They was
long,
rolling around.
that was the longest
around.
onside kick I'd ever
Yeah.
seen.
Absolutely.
All right, we got one more commercial and you.
Okay.
So when was the last time you went to Christmas? When was it?
19.
Oh, okay.
Roughly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been on a cruise since 19. So.
And kids loved it. Everything was fun. Yeah.
And that's the thing for kids, because your kids are getting older, but even your kids are hitting the age, there's plenty for them to do
Oh, yeah.
that you don't have to see them.
Yeah.
Because they ain't going anywhere as long as they don't swim.
We started trips like a while back with our kids, but we asked them, we were like, would y'all prefer? Like, what do y'all want to do? And most of the time they did a trip. Last year, they were like, this was kind of fun, like to stay home,
Oh, yeah.
but more presents and stuff. Because
Yeah.
when you go on a trip, it's
Yeah,
limited presents.
that is the present. Yeah.
And they know that, so but it's been really fun.
That's cool.
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge, sports life and everything in between. When you hear that, you know it's time for our Big Country Electric My Town segment, brought to you by Big Country Cooperative, taking care of their members each and every day out of Roby, Snyder, and Stamford. And again, this time of year, always ready for you, their members. We highlight a local player coacher program, and today we got a guy that's highlighting a lot of programs at AT&T Stadium. Familiar voice on our Pest Patrol phone line again. Pest Patrol, if you got something bothering you, you need that yellow truck coming your way, 673-6700, call or text. Weldon and their team will get you taken care of. But joining us on that Pest Patrol phone line, up and early, like all the other great journalists and analysts, Brandon McCullough. Brandon, early mornings, late nights, but how are we doing this morning? Well, exhausted. Yeah, I think exhausted would be pretty good. But you finally got to see a pretty close game yesterday. We'll start with day two or day one. Big Country Connections, Coach Mike Reed, Gordon, Jayton, coach up there around in Jayton winning their state championships. Talk a little bit about day one and the history that was made, 2 in a row for Jayton and 3-peat for Gordon.
You know, that's going into this week, I thought there would be 10 absolute bangers of games, and I thought there'd be 2 blowouts. I expected Gordon to win by 45, just because that program, I think, is just the third ever to 3-peat at the 6-man ranks, and their run started by denying Westbrook a 3-peat. Coach Reed, man, he's one of the greatest ever, between Rule and Throckmorton, and, you know, even winning at Hamilton. He's just special. Striker Reed is fun. Coach Reed told me, that hunt on the front porch Wednesday morning might have lasted a little bit longer son, I didn't hug him back because I didn't want to acknowledge that this was the end. But he said, I'm definitely giving him an extra long hug tonight. And then you've got assistant coach Shad Reed and his son Rye, who, you know, he dropped off last night in Frisco for I think in Frisco for the All-American Bowl. Where Rye and Shad, hey, Coach, Dad, I don't feel like I belong here, man. There's all these Big 12 SEC bound kids, and Shad told him, hey, you earned your place here. There's a reason why you're going to a Power 5 school in Oregon. There's a reason why X, Y, and Z. He said, Shad's post on Facebook said, the next thing he got was a picture of Rye with Andy Smith.
That's pretty cool. So go ahead.
These Gordon kids are just that special, that good.
Yeah, and you know, of course, Gordon's been known for the tornado and all that, but I think if a tornado doesn't hit Gordon, they still win their third straight state championship. Jayton, record-setting day for Bodie Ham in the middle game yesterday, as Jayton takes care of Richland Springs, a very historic program in the six-man world, but Jayton capping off another great season yesterday as well.
Bodie, that was single-handedly, I think, the greatest performance I've ever seen by any high school athlete. You know, running for 10 touchdowns, throwing for 3 more, which all 3 of Bodie's pass completions went for touchdowns, which is amazing. You know, 2 of them went to Dave Bliker, who said in the post-game press conference, man, last year when we got here, I didn't get anything. I knew if I got my hands on the ball, I was scoring this year. Such a coach's kid quote, but it's so true. Like, those kids fed off of each other. That's a family with Jayden, just like Gordon's a family. And Josh Shanahan, man, he's right up there with Mike Reed, one of the greatest to ever do it. His win Wednesday was actually the 150th of his career. And that just goes to show, you know, when you give guys an ability to build a program, good things happen.
Hey, Brandon, it's Andy, and I know how the UIL is structured, and you have the 2 state champions, but, man, we saw last year Jayton and Gordon play basketball over at Wiley in the second round of the playoffs, and it was phenomenal. What would you give to see a Jayton-Gordon football game on the football field?
Man, I gotta be honest, I don't know if Jayton could hang with this Gordon team. I really don't. On the football field. It's a lot of fun to see though, because both teams have great defenses. Both teams have explosive offenses, but I think we're careening towards Jayden Gordon, potentially Wiley High School on the hardwood.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see that one again.
I got a feeling, Coach, at most some of the basketball coaches that have any superstition about them, even just like Michael Scott said, a little stitches. I bet Shad Reed plays somewhere else. But I will say this. The UIL a few years ago, one of the dumbest things ever invented was the Texas Cup. And the 1As in basketball played each other on Saturday because they needed a time filler. I'm definitely glad they don't do that as much as I'd like to see it. I'm glad they don't do it because you should never win a state championship and then lose your last game. So I'm glad somebody wised up and realized that they would get rid of that. Talk a little bit about last night. Walls won state championships in girls basketball. They won a state championship in obviously in baseball last night. Craig Slaughter, again, you talk about one of the best in the business, lineage of coaches, finally getting the first Wall state championship in football. Talk about what that scene was like last night.
Well, before we get to that, I also want to give a shout out to Hamilton. Wednesday night in the 281 game. 111 years, first ever state title, and that program is led by Comanche's Ryan Marwitz. So there were three country connections to all three games on Wednesday. But then you looked at last night, and Craig Slaughter entered the year with a losing record in his career as a coach. But that dude knows ball. And I really likened it, especially the emotion on the sideline, just what you could feel in the stadium. It really felt a lot like with him getting his first title as a head coach to when Benny Faith won his first title as a head coach.
Well, and I would say, one of the biggest things that everybody talked about when Steve Young finally won a Super Bowl, and there's the view of him getting the monkey off his back. The whole Wall football program has had that monkey on the back for a long time.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough last week when they played Gunner to be in the locker room to hear Coach Slaughter's pregame speech to the team. And one of the things he told them, their goal this year was to get the star on the logo to signify the state title. And for them to get it in the way they did it, they weren't dominant, but they showcased West Texas speed. They showcased West Texas physicality. They showed grit. They showed heart. They showed everything you want to see out of a state champion. The special teams made a difference. Their ability to contain Newcomb's option made a difference. A lot of people overlooked the fact that there were a lot of people going in and said, it won't really handle Newcomb's option. People forget it. Before last year, that's the same offense Wall ran for 18 years under Houston Guy. These kids grew up playing against that. They knew what it takes to stop that.
Well, let me ask you this. Of course, Stephenville today at 11 o'clock. What else are you looking forward to as the rest of the state championships finish out and football season comes to an end for 2025?
Well, today I really think Stephenville can beat Kilgore. I really do. The middle game, I think, is going to be an absolute blowout, and it's just a nation for Carthage. And Scott Surratt's going to get his 11th title to go against 8 playoff losses in his career, which is just an absurd thing to think about. But then once we start getting into the 5A and 6A games, I think it's going to be a blast. You're going to have Bristol Lowe start chasing his first title after overcoming a 17-point deficit with 5 minutes to play against Omega. You're going to have Smithson after he had gone 32 years, I believe. And then tomorrow, man, you're going to have just 3 absolute bangers on South Dallas versus Houston Day. And honestly, the game I'm looking forward to most is the finale, where we're going to have DeSoto against Houston CE King. But the middle game, Duncanville, North Shore, March 6th. And that game has a big country tie. I don't know how many people realize this.
Jamie
But
Poe.
one of Duncanville's assistant coaches, Jamie Pogue, the legendary Cooper kicker, Hardin Stevens kicker, and son of Jimmy Pogue.
Brandon, he's got
Hey, I was just curious what the hospitality ringing out there a little bit.
But unfortunately, there's not a hospitality room. But I do have to give a shout out to Matt Wilson, the pride of Riverland, the head of the Arlington Sports Commission. He and his team do a wonderful job taking care of the media. You get meal vouchers every day for lunch and dinner, courtesy of Arlington Sports Commission. So I've been eating hot dogs, I've been eating burgers. The one thing Jerry does give the media for free is sodas, and well, I'm taking my fair share of Mountain Dew this week.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, if you decide on the nachos, you better pace yourself because there's a lot of them.
Hey, that is my favorite thing to do every year. Shows. Usually I'm only here on a Wednesday, so I always have to do it on day one, and everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. So I'm looking forward to making it happen. Probably right before the bike cap tomorrow night.
Well, Brandon, I appreciate you taking the time this morning. I know, again, long day with 11 and 3 and 7 and all the things in between. Appreciate you always listening to us and us following you and all the great photos that you take and stories that you do. And enjoy the next couple of days. And again, pace yourself on those nachos.
Will do, and I'm ready to be home Sunday night. Hug my wife, Saturday night / early Sunday morning. Love my wife, hug on her. Man, she's a real MVP this week, letting me chase what I love. And if you guys haven't seen it, go check out my Twitter. I got a photo of Coach Slaughter with his family, his dad, his wife Kim, as she sees him post-game for the first time, going up with wide open arms. Just those are the types of things that matter the most in this business is families. I know you can attest to that. Andy can definitely attest to that. We could not do what we do without the support of our spouses and families.
No doubt.
No doubt. I totally agree. My wife was good. I said, hey, I'm heading to Arlington, and she gets it. And so no doubt. But again, enjoy. You get a little bit of a break, and then before you know it, we in gyms all over the place covering basketball.
Yeah. Wins a state title on the gridiron Wednesday. They're hosting Friendship Memorial tonight on the Heart.
Yeah, and trying to three-peat themselves in state championship lore as well. Brandon, get you some breakfast at the hotel, and hey, the gates open at 9:30. Enjoy day 3.
Will do. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, it's Brandon McCullough again, Big Country Preps. Check him out on Twitter. We'll put it up there. When we come back, the NFL, Grandpa came close. Misty's figured out how much he's making. Grandkids are going to get a lot for Christmas. We'll be back right after this. Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, Brandon, appreciate it. All right, man.
See you,
Have a good
Brandon.
one. We'll see you. Bye.
I bet he is exhausted. Does it?
That ball game was 10:30,
Yeah.
and then all the celebrations another hour.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, and what was weird, and I don't know if it's of course, one of the game changers that they've done, Victory Plus was covering instead of chess.
Right.
But like yesterday, 11 o'clock kickoff on everything, but like it was 10:55, and it still showed 11 minutes left on the scoreboard.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know from a TV purposes, we're turning you on at 11,
Yeah.
pregame-ish, kicking off about 11:05, 11:10.
Yeah. 5 minute.
Yeah.
5 minute introduction. Yeah.
They don't introduce, like the state tournament in basketball, they introduce all the players.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
none of that happening in football.
No. Have you been before? Oh, it's
I have it. I know.
It's
I need to do that at some point. Because, yeah, that would be amazing.
we had a year. I guess it was 21.
All right, you've done this a time. It blows my mind. I'll say this, and hopefully Brandon, because he sometimes wants. If you ever watch a press conference, and I know I do it more watching like Big Star, but anytime Masters, any of them, they always say so and so from AP. Those guys just start asking questions. So I'm like the only one in the press conference that go, "Hey, Hodge from the Hodge back in and ask my questions." I'm like, none of them do that. They like drove me crazy. But they were talking about how the Gordon thing was a movie, lived in a movie from Tornado. So I asked Reed as butter, I said, "Hey, movie, who's playing you?" It was funny. He goes, "No, I'm a big fan of Denzel Washington."
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
We went 21, and Stephenville won it that year. My college roommate, his son was on the Stephenville team. And then my high school arena played right after them.
Oh gosh.
And they won it. And then spring, and they played the next day, and they won it. So like,
so you're not gonna. You set the bar very, very high.
Yeah, like I had personal connections to every game.
Oh,
so
that's rare.
it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know that you'll ever get something like that again.
It was awesome. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I would go to any of them, not even having a dog in the fight. I just love football.
Yep.
Yeah, and basketball too. You know, you talked about that Jayton Gordon basketball game. I was there last year.
Oh, that was awesome.
And man, gosh, that was so fun. I was so excited. We had so many good playoff games around, and I actually saw a lot of people from Robert Lee that drove up for that game.
Oh, cool.
And so that was kind of fun. But
I hope we get to host more.
I know,
we
me
hosted
too.
that one, and then we also hosted Eula and Gordon County girls. It was packed.
I missed that one.
That was the state semifinals.
Yes, I
the
missed
state
that
tournament, state semifinals.
Awesome. I'm excited to watch Eula and Gordon girls play.
Yeah.
You know, Gordon beat Plano West a few weeks ago.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what we're just saying. We hope that there's more games around here that we can go to.
Yep.
Oh, there should be when the playoffs get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RIP Drum and RIP state tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome back to the Hodge Pack again. Appreciate Brandon McCullough from Big Country Press. We'll try to find, again, we'll look at his Twitter handle. It's something Sports Nut or, but he always does great photos. He actually had a picture, I was down on the sideline with him during the, might have been the Gordon game. And there was, or Jayton game, and there was a touchdown given, and he had a great picture of the guy being short. And the funny thing is when you get to the state tournament or state championship games, one of the things that you have that you don't have throughout the year is instant replay.
Instant replay, yeah.
Well, they review it and still give it to them. I'm like, this is like MLB instant replay. They didn't get it right.
Sports Freak Nut, by the way, is Twitter handle.
All right, Sports Freak Nut, which fits Brandon McCullough. So check him out on Twitter. Check out his photos. He does a great job. Takes a lot of pride in getting the action shots. He had one where a guy's helmet came off and he had it just right. And so check out Brandon Sports Nut at Twitter. All right, so let's go into the NFL. One of the things that we cover here are the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys last week. I really feel like the loss to Detroit became a virus that stuck. And this is why I say that. After the unfortunate loss of the Monday night game to Arizona, and of course, later on after that, Marshawn Nealon came with that, the passing of Marshawn. And then they kind of went on a run. They made some trades and made the defense better. And they beat the two people that were in the Super Bowl last year, and the Eagles and the Chiefs. And everybody's kind of excited. And we're like, man, you don't want to play the Cowboys right now. They're it. They're the UT of talk.
Of talk. That's
Which,
the right word.
which is probably the safest thing to say, not FCC, get in trouble. But then they lose to the Lions and in a fashion that didn't very well compete. Didn't compete very well. And I think it rolled into, because I think we thought, you know what, Minnesota's coming to town. They got J.J. McCarthy. That guy doesn't, I mean, he still looks like he gets carded to buy a lottery ticket, much less an alcoholic beverage. And then surely we're going to win at home. I mean, it makes sense. You don't win at Ford Field. I mean, Detroit's good. I mean, Misty's second favorite behind Josh Allen is Dan Campbell.
I do like the Lions.
And then they just do not find a way to get it done. And they've got a Lloyd Christmas chance. They've got a 1% chance. Cowboys win out. Eagles lose out. I don't see them losing to the Commanders once, much less twice. And the only loss they might get is the Bills. How do we reflect and thoughts on?
I think we should have known it was not our night when Aubrey misses 2 field goals. So the first miss, I was like, ooh, that wasn't good. And then the second one, I think he had only had 2 all season and then doubled that.
Do you think that was just being cocky because he ran a fake field goal? I'm more than a kicker.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But I thought, oh, man, the vibes are off. The energy is off. But, I mean, the blitz, they just have such a strong blitz. And obviously there was a lot wrong with that game. Of course, the blitz was giving us some trouble, and our defense makes McCarthy look like, Tom Brady out there slinging it. He had the most, I think he had like 250 passing yards, highest of his career. I'm like, of course, we love to do that. We love to help these mediocre quarterbacks have the highest passing game of their career. And that's it. And so again, there was a lot wrong with that game, but the blitz, and then of course our defense just have looked better, but just could not get it done.
Well, and now Eberflus is saying, I'm getting off the field. I'm going to go to the press box for the next 3 games.
I'm over him.
And I don't know if he's going up there to hide his, get his resume builder and start putting his house up for sale.
He should.
But it was just a struggle because it was a very roller coaster ride for a season. Mm-hmm. Because, you start off against the Eagles. They're getting their Super Bowl rings. They're unleashing the banner and all that. And you play them from a Miles Sanders fumble away, maybe from winning that game. And then you win the unthinkable game against the Giants that you shouldn't have won, but you ended up winning. And you're giving up more points than Jayton scoring in a 6-man football game. And then you win some games. And then, unfortunately, take the human out of it. The loss against the Cardinals, even before the tragedy, was really one of those games that you should have won. It really kind of just was. It was a roller coaster ride, and now you've got 3 games left. That really all you can do is, if you're a player, try to collect your incentives checks and finish on a good note. And I think you're going to have to make a decision at the defensive coordinator, because you cannot have one of the most prolific, explosive offenses on the field and able to stop people.
And I've always come to this question this time of the year: do we play this thing out with a less than 1% chance, or are we starting to look for the future? And
Well, and here's the deal.
What does the next 3 weeks look like?
Well, and I think you've got to plan, because what you don't want to do, and we can kind of transition in what we call segue. I don't want to be the Chiefs and Mahomes, because the Chiefs and Mahomes, yes, they were playing, they had a chance, but with about 2 minutes left in the game, Mahomes goes down with an ACL injury. He says rehab started. He's going to be pushed back to be back for week 1. And yes, Adrian Peterson did that a few years ago, and technology and the rehab facilities that Mahomes and those guys have is amazing, and money's not an option, all that. But what you don't want is, if Dak does that,
you're putting next year in jeopardy.
Yeah, we don't need anybody getting hurt.
Well, and that's the thing. Your window, not only, Jerry's 80 plus years old. He's living on house money statistically age-wise. But my point is, your window of CeeDee Lamb, your window of Dak Prescott, your window of these guys of being able to go with this talent. For you people that are like, well, we won't ever win until Jerry Jones doesn't have the team. Yeah. The Jones family is going to have the team for the rest of our lives. But your window of this group is closing. and you better take advantage of it because it's going to have to be 2026 before it's the earliest you're going to win one is 2026.
So does it, in y'all's opinion, I mean, obviously we've got weapons. Say what you want about the Dallas Cowboys, but we have weapons.
Oh, 100%.
So does this come, some people would say this comes down to coaching, obviously.
I think from a defense side, yeah.
Right. But thoughts on, any of the coaching staff of the Dallas
If I was
Cowboys?
grading Shoddy's year, I gave him a B. The reason I'm not making it a plus because he hadn't pulled a trigger and maybe he doesn't have the ability to say, hey, Eberflus, we're going to let you. The defense was an issue. I thought offensively, obviously we were explosive. Offensively, we were creative. The stats prove that. Maybe if it was cooking I like my steak medium plus, not quite well, but I would say closer to a B plus. He handled the Marshawn Nealon tragedy, handled that well for a first-year head coach. All those things he did was so Shoddy, right hire, Shoddy good. I do think you got to figure out what do we do defensively.
I think the question. I think Shoddy had a great year. I'd give him a nice grade, good foundational layer that he's built as a coach. I think it's the same question that you've seen with Bill Parcells, with McCarthy. What's his ceiling of personnel decisions? What is his decision on how do we build a roster? All of those type of things. I think X's and O's wise, they can do some things. What's his ability to bring in players that he wants to fit his structure and what he's trying to accomplish?
What would you grade him?
I agree. I'd probably give him a B plus because of how he handled Marshawn. I think, that was just, that is just such a just, gosh. It's
Nobody
just
gives
sad.
you that for a playbook of this is how you handle those situations.
It's just, and until you've had that tragedy hit home a little bit differently, I just have such respect for the way he handled that. And so, yeah, I definitely give him a B plus. And I know there was a lot of talk about us picking up Pickens, but man, he has balled out for the Dallas Cowboys.
I will say the last week and a half, he's shown a little Pittsburgh in him.
He has.
So
but overall, if
yes.
we're talking overall, I like it. I'm like, yes, that was a good pickup.
Leading up to a couple weeks ago when the ball was thrown, he doesn't extend his hands out. His next 3 weeks are going to tell me whether or not you need to sign him.
Yeah.
Because if he's going to go in Pittsburgh, and the reason I call Pittsburgh, because in Pittsburgh, he acted different and Tomlin got rid of him and all those things. Yes, he looked like he was a great fit, especially taking over the slack when CD was hurt. He did all these things good. Are you going to be that, or are you going to show who you really are? Because now these next 3 weeks and really the last 2 weeks, the Lions and Vikings game will show us who you are.
Yeah,
because
I do think
spice,
but I don't like those penalties.
I do like that I do think he's a great addition. He's not better than CD. I still like CD, but he is a 1 and 1A that you have, and I think you need that. It's hard. It's
right.
And I hope they sign him. I think they got to figure out Javonte Williams. This year they did some good addition-wise from a personnel perspective. We'll see what they do there. Other NFL news that happened, again, Mahomes is out, is news in Miami. Tua bench for Quinn Ewers. Not only is he bench, but Tua is going third string quarterback, your first string quarterback, starting quarterback, UT, South Lake Carroll, Quinn Ewers, and Zach Wilson, the mom lover that dated people's moms, is the backup. Thoughts on that? Will Tua get a chance to be next year Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones?
Same scenario here. I think you're at a 6 and 8 point. Hey, let's look to our future. Let's see what we've got. Quinn Ewers is, he dropped in the draft. He didn't go as high as some people thought. I don't think he had a great year at Texas last year, and that hurt his draft status. But at this point, Dolphins are 6 and 8. Tua's not getting it done. Let's throw Quinn in the fire and see what happens.
Well, and it's an opportunity for Mike McDaniel to save his job.
No doubt.
Yeah, I thought he would have already been canned. So we'll see. Hopefully it turns around. But yeah, this is the right decision. I think Tua does need to be third. He has shown nothing. I'm here for the decision, and hopefully it works out.
And we'll talk more about at the end of the show. Obviously, we don't do any picks anymore with college football over regular season wise. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking we got to do a shout out to Phillip Rivers. I mean, because that was a hot topic this week, and he came out, and I was like, okay, I am here for this. Like Christmas miracle, they almost got it done, didn't, but looked up his pay, and almost 280,000 for 4 games, so it comes out to almost 70,000 a game. Not too shabby for the old man Rivers.
Well, and it's a great time for Christmas. I mean, be able to get kids. Maybe you weren't able to get that one gift that was on the list.
Great marketing move, by the way, for the Colts. Great. They were the headline of the national media for a week. Most watched Colts game in the last 5 years. They didn't win. Doesn't matter. Great marketing move.
Well, and they're in it. I mean, now. They still have a 2% chance, and he's not going to kill them. He's not going to be the reason you don't win. You still have Jonathan Taylor and all the things to where you can still possibly make a playoff
he played
run.
well for coming off the couch after
Right.
5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually, I don't know about y'all, but I was impressed.
Yeah.
Well,
And in Seattle, against a very good defense, had a chance to win. Just came up short.
He's my shout out of the week if we had one. Hodge
Oh, yeah.
Pack shout out of the
Well,
week.
no
goes to
doubt,
Phillip
no doubt.
Rivers.
We'll make that this right here. I'm gonna make sure I don't mess this up.
do you think Dan Marino was waiting on a call this week? For the Dolphins?
Okay, it's interesting you say that because Matt Ryan said he would not come out if they got the call. Matt Ryan likes that seat in the studio. He said he wouldn't come out and play. We're going to make it because I wanted to make it last week. The Colts bringing in Phillip Rivers was the Phil Hill right move of the week.
Absolutely.
No doubt. Great decision. Bring in Phillip Rivers. And again, not have to figure out a whole lot of things. And so our Phil Hill right move of the week is Phillip Rivers coming to the Colts, bringing him on. And so if you are looking for a new house or somewhere, a commercial or residential investment opportunity, or a new place to live, give Phil Hill a call, 325-669-5153. The right move is not only for Phil Rivers, but the right move is to give Phil Hill a call. When we come back, Misty's back right after this.
Whoa, Misty's back.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous.
I didn't have time to look up, but how many injuries that list grass and turf. It's pretty crazy on how many of those.
Did you find it ironic on the day that the Cowboys are more or less eliminated that Michael Parsons is eliminated too?
Right. Yeah.
Just as a lose-lose all the way around.
Yeah, I don't know what the Cowboys end up doing. Well, the irony is going to be, and I don't know if that's the correct word, if, first of all, go Bears this weekend. Go Bears. They play the Packers. But the Packers finish with the Bears, Ravens, and Vikings. Let's say they lose the next 3.
Packers?
Yeah. And they start playing worse to end it, which would make, or did the Cowboys trade those picks to get Quinn Williams?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Let's say they didn't, because let's say his injury made the Packers worse, which made their record worse, and the picks the Cowboys got for that trade became better.
That'd be all right.
Because
yeah.
the whole talk was, yeah, they're going to trade, but you're going to not get very good picks.
Because they're going to make the playoffs.
Because they're going to make the playoffs be so good.
My whole Facebook feed is nothing but human like candy canes.
I saw that last week.
What is this?
It's like they're
AI.
GPT.
Yeah.
They're making a picture.
Well, the first one I saw, I thought, oh, okay, cool. They got a Christmas card done.
Yeah, no.
And
Totally
then they
fake.
just kept coming.
Yeah, it's like My whole one.
They feel like the old, what was that studio you used to go to, get all mixed up and do your hair?
Yeah, like the
Glamour Shot.
Glamour
Yeah.
shot.
That's what it felt like.
17 layers of makeup,
Yeah.
24 billion deals of hairspray.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a thing.
Oh yeah. Luckily, I was not. Yeah, and I mean, I
You're
am an
just-
'80s baby, but I was not old enough to be wearing makeup and
You're just
hair
glad.
in the 80s.
You're just glad you're not about 15 years older.
Yeah, no. I mean,
'Cause you would have a
I'd have been
photo-
teasing it all.
You would have had a photo of like stick your hand in an electric socket.
There's a lot of eras. I'm glad I wasn't born. But yeah, so fun.
This segment always makes me nervous.
I love it. I love it. I mean, it can't be too bad. Look at me. I'm all merry and bright.
You are
Right? I can't be
you are married.
too naughty. I'm gonna be nice. This will be a fun one. I'll just preface it with that.
Yeah.
If you can
Yeah,
think
but
of
there
something
also
quick.
hey, there's also people that think it's fun to go get rattlesnakes out of underneath of the house.
This hit me yesterday, actually, when I was getting my nails done. I was thinking about this question.
Great, that makes us feel even better. So if you were getting your nails done for Christmas, what would they be?
Perhaps it's Christmas related.
Figured it's at least that. Welcome back to the Hodgeback, sports life and everything in between, right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. It is time for one of our favorites, except sometimes Andy and I do get nervous. It's time for Misty's Bag. Ironically, wrong hotkey, but fitting. Oh, that was so much fitting. I report no more. Oh, that was perfect. Go ahead.
That was great. So I got to give a shout out to Mulligan's. I was there last night for Clay's company Christmas party. Took over the patio last night at Mulligan's, and just kudos to their staff. It was just such a great party, great food, just great fellowship. And of course, all the games were on. We were watching the Hawks and the Rams. And so it was just a lot of fun. And so shout out to them. I do want to plug their New Year's Eve party they've got going on. So if you are wanting to get out of the jammies and off the couch, then you need to head on over to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, because they are going to be kicking off 2026 starting at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, the 31st. So be sure to call and reserve your table. 325-691-0909 will get you plugged into Mulligan's. Okay, here we go.
I'm nervous.
So we've kind of talked about this subject before about, quarterbacks getting their O-line a Christmas gift. And a lot of times it's super extravagant because obviously, money is not due. But this year, I'm thinking after the old Vikings game, Dak might not want to spend that much on the old O-line. So let's just say that you're an NFL quarterback. We're going to set the stage. Maybe money's a little tight, or you don't want to get them much this year.
Are you saying you want us to make their gift match their performance?
Well, I'm going to tell you, you only have $20 to spend this
Wow.
year on your O-line per
Right.
person. So here's the catch. It's $20, and you have to deliver the gift with a Roses Are Red poem.
Wow.
So you have to come up, roses are red, violets are blue. I'll give you the first two lines. You must come up with the other two lines as you deliver your $20 gift to your O-line for Christmas.
Josh, you're such a lucky man.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So let's break this down. First, $20 gift.
Okay.
And then, while one of you's going, you better come up with those other 2 lines for your roses are red.
So roses are red, violets are blue. I bought you a bottle of Elmer's glue.
I mean, see, you did it. That's it.
Well done.
That could be your poem, but what are you going to gift them? $20 gift.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
It doesn't have to match the gift. You could just, here's a sweet poem, bam, and then give them their $20 gift.
I gotta think of
A
it.
bad visual as far as a gift. I'm working on the poem here.
All right, so what's your gift?
So, Christmas time, you always see like the family pictures in matching Christmas jammies.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 300 linemen
In onesies?
in matching Christmas pajamas?
That would actually be epic.
That's the visual that's coming to my
Okay.
mind. I'm working on the poem.
That's
All
a
right,
great
so your gift
present.
is set. I like the five onesies.
And I'm seeing like plaid, the red and green plaid.
I actually love this idea so much. Like, that would be so cute.
So roses are red, violets are blue. Here are some jammies. I hope they block better than you.
Hey, that's
We nailed it. Team effort. Huh?
There you
go.
go.
In the booth, in the studio, we
I
got
mean,
this.
y'all do have chemistry.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
that was actually really, really
So
good.
now, are we going long pants and long sleeves? Or are we going shorts and
Well,
mid-dress?
well,
Or like, what are we
I
going
joked about this last night in the we were watching the games while I was in the booth, and I made the joke about how I'd hate to be the inventor of knee pads because football players don't wear them anymore. Yeah, you might as well be the landline. Yeah, I think the onesies is good because I think you can get a pretty good pair of pajamas for $20, and maybe remind them, hey, your job as the offensive line is to keep me cozy and warm back here and not on my backside. All right, so he went with jammies, and I got the song.
That was actually really good. Like, kudos.
How did that go again?
See, every time I try to trip him up, a few years ago, I don't know if you remember this, but I had asked if we were hustling for Christmas and we, were maybe at a club around here, what would our stage name be? And do you remember Josh said Fuzzy Wuzzy? I will never forget this
Yes.
question.
Hold that thought. We got to pause for the state legal.
Settle in right now. It is time for the Hodge Pack. Sports, life, and everything in between with Josh, Misty, and Hodge. It's time for hour 2 of the Hodge Pack.
We are in hour number 2. Again, brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. Be sure ColemanBank.com if you need to connect yourself with a great mortgage company to get you that new house or business investment. Give Tammy and those folks a call and check them out at ColemanBank.com. Misty's given us Misty's bag question. Again, brought to you by Mulligan's. Is we don't have a whole lot of. We got $20 to spend on our offensive linemen. We got a gift, and we got to have a poem that goes with the roses, red, violets, or blue. Andy has chosen pajama for the linemen. I said roses are red, violets are blue. I hope they help you block better than you do, or something like that.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, that worked.
Go back and download the podcast. It'll be there. We appreciate 5-star ratings. I'm working on my gift. I said glue, and because maybe they could stick together and again form a better pocket. When I think of gift for linemen, you could go give them a $20 watch, instead of the big Rolexes they normally would get. Because again, the way they've blocked this year, we need to do a little bit better. If you'd have blocked better, my incentive check would have been bigger, and I could have got you the Rolexes. But unfortunately, you didn't block well enough. We're not making the playoffs, and so I gave you these $20 watches, which they tell time, but they're not what the red, violets, or blue. Here are these watches.
I love you.
No, because
we don't. He's like, no, my back. What about your back?
Well, my back hurts. Roses are red, violets are blue. Keep your eyes. I'm trying to, I did so good with the pajamas. I'm a little stuck. Any help? Anybody got
I
any?
know. You just.
What
yeah.
about you? You always have to answer your own questions.
That's true.
I do. So the $20 gift I would get. So y'all probably, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I am always cold. Like always, 24/7. I mean, my hands are like ice right now. My nose is cold. I'm just always cold. So I would get my O-line a Snuggie, like a wearable blanket. I have one. They're awesome. And I wear it a lot in the winter. So I think I would get like a navy blue wearable Snuggie for my boys. And then my roses are red, violets are blue. Thanks for keeping me out of concussion protocol. You're my boy, Blue. So, little blue there because we're the Dallas Cowboys. Because obviously that's, who we're playing for,
Right.
America's team. So that would be my poem that I would deliver it. It does not match anything about my Snuggie. But
your Snuggie could be blue.
it is blue. So we've got all the blue. It will be a blue Christmas.
Well, it is. It's going to be a blue Christmas for the Cowboys because which they play on Christmas Day, playing the Washington Commanders on Christmas Day. Of course, the America's team would be Thanksgiving check, Christmas check. Unfortunately, they're not going to be playing in January.
No check.
Or Columbus Day or anything like that. There you go, Mulligan's bag again. All the rhyming, all the questions.
Y'all survived. See,
It was-
I don't
it
think
was
that
good.
was bad.
We're going to see, will you survive? Fill out your bracket. College football playoff starts tonight in Norman. What will it be like? We'll go over these games right after this.
Y'all did
Good.
good.
I was trying to go I started thinking, okay, what's the Christmas snack of choice? Like fudge.
Yes.
Like, I couldn't make a poem to go with it.
Not a lot rhymes with fudge.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
I was thinking here's
Sludge.
some.
You haven't.
I was thinking
Your blocking hasn't budged. So here's a big old box of fudge.
Yeah.
I was thinking here's some roses are red, violets are blue. Here's some fudge. You block like this.
That's great. Yes. That's amazing. That's really good. Oh, yeah. I always think about that around Christmas time because I can't remember who it was. I was watching an interview. So I followed the Dallas Cowboys on TikTok, and they have a lot of fun content with their marketing team, and they'll just randomly ask them questions. And one of their rookies was talking about well, my first year, I remember we were at the Star, and there were all these scooters, and he was like, it was awesome. All these grown men are on little mopeds, all driving all over the Star. And he was like, I remember thinking, I don't have the money for that. So when I saw that this week, I started thinking my brain's always turning, but I was like, okay, we're going to put a spin on that because that's true. Not everybody can afford, whatever those scooters are. And so I was like, let's take it down a notch. And then after the Vikings game, and I was like, yeah, well, they're only getting $20 this year.
Was it last year Mahomes bought all his guys souped up golf carts?
Yes. Yeah.
Quentin Ewers at Texas bought them all with Casey leather double bags.
Yeah, but just fun.
Yeah.
Because we've had that question, Hodge. I don't know if you remember, but I have asked that question. Obviously, if money wasn't an option, what would you buy your O-line? And so we did. I think it's been a few years, but this week when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'll do that. And then I was like, I need another spin on it. I'll make them do a poem. But I was like, I didn't want y'all to have to do the whole poem, so I thought we'll do it easy. Roses are red, violets are blue. But y'all did good.
I think a lot of it depends on what stage of quarterback you're at. If you're the $55 million a year guy, I would, I think a fun gift would be to send your line. Not all of them are going to be married, but hey, here's 2 plane tickets. Go.
Yeah, anywhere you want. And they're together all the time, which is to say that'd be fun to, go on like a Bora Bora, all rent the whole huts that, but you're with them all the time. So it's like, maybe you wouldn't want to go on a trip. I don't know, but yeah, I like fudge and the poo. That's pretty good. Yeah, y'all killed that whole like PJ, and then you nailed that first poem. That was
However
cute.
it went.
Yeah. We'd have to. Don't ask me again. Yeah.
Man, it's a shame. It's a shame tomorrow night that they didn't throw one of the Tulane or JMU game tonight and book in A&M Miami and in OU Alabama tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure why they laid it out that way. Are we going all the way to champion, or are we just doing this weekend?
We could fill out our brackets.
Okay.
I'm pulling up mine from the hot track. I don't even remember who I picked. And apparently I filled out 2. I didn't mean to do that, but here we are.
That's right. Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Welcome back to the Hodgepodge as we continue hour number 2, brought to you by Roses Are Red and Violets Are Blue. If you missed any of that, check out our podcast, download, subscribe, rate, and review to the Hodgepodge podcast, sports life, and everything in between. You can get on Apple or Spotify. Of course, we appreciate 5-star ratings. Again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Next week, hope everybody has great plans and all the things done. Be sure you head over here to the Mall of Abilene if you need any more of those gifts that you've not picked up yet, and check out all the great stuff we have here. And we have our college football bracket pick'em. Be sure you head over to our Facebook page. We've got everything set. All you got to do is click, password's there, fill it out. And then, again, we're going to give away a Hodgepodge prize package involving a lot of landing cattle, Potosi Live, mulligans, and a lot of other things. So be sure, get that filled out. The teams are set. The 12 teams are ready to kick off tonight. Alabama at Oklahoma. Is there any other profession that you can think of that while you're trying to do your job, that everybody else is asking you questions if you're about ready to leave your current job? Kalen DeBoer, of course, Michigan, we learned last week, one of the blue blood top college football jobs in the country open. Sharon Moore out, and that job is still open. And Kalen DeBoer has been asked on requested to leave Alabama for Michigan. And to me, the irony is, when you come to think about the top jobs in the country, he's at one. It does come with pressure. It does come with expectations. He's already followed the man. Now, ironically, he'd be following a guy that was after the guy that won the national championship in Jim Harbaugh. But does he have to deal with this?
This whole thing's been a head scratcher to me. Not just Kalen DeBoer; he's the next in line. But maybe I'm rabbit trailing here, but yeah, I feel like these guys are always looking for the next one. And I go back to Lane Kiffin. Like, what's the ultimate goal here? It's to win, right? No, it's to make money. But here you are. You've set up Ole Miss for a chance to go win a national championship. How do you say, well, I'm going to go to LSU to have a chance to win a national championship? You're in a current position to go do that. Same thing with DeBoer. Like, you're in the position.
But in DeBoer's defense, he's trying not to talk about it.
True. I mean, it's the topic of conversation. I think that's just the topic of conversation.
Well, okay,
it blows my mind.
And Andy, you worked at Lubbock and at a station, did some stuff with Tech, obviously with ACU and all that that you do now, and of course with Wiley. And I know we're getting off a little bit, and good thing is we have some more time on the show. And I'll ask you this, Misty, from a journalist standpoint, where inside do you feel like that's the question you've got to ask when it comes to that?
This whole this is why I could not do this other than on the Hodgepodge, because I'd probably get in trouble, because I would not be able to be neutral when I was talking.
So, but is that the question you would want to ask?
Yeah, well, I would be like, why? Like, I don't understand why you're doing this. Just like what Andy said, you have a chance here. Like why?
Okay.
And we talked about this before, but I couldn't do it.
I know the Lane Kiffin one. I agree, and I said it. I lost a lot of respect when he left. I mean, I've compared him to Live Golf, all that. My deal is on the DeBoer thing. He's saying, I'm staying here. My people love it here. We're just trying to do this game now. He's not even suggesting other jobs. Everybody else is doing it from this side of the table.
Correct.
And my point is, I just don't think why. Again, I go back to, I thought some of the questions that were asked, and maybe I don't mean this arrogantly or anything like that, because I just think some of the questions, even though 2 days I was at AT&T, I thought were some questions. Why are you asking that question? It makes no sense. Here, I don't know, understand. It's a guy named Nick in the last press conference I watched. A guy named DeBoer about Michigan. That's my frustration is why are you asking that question right now when you know what he's trying to do tonight?
You know, and I'm trying to get the benefit of the doubt here, the journalist right now. And I don't know if I can. There's such a sense of urgency in college sports now with transfer portal, and you've got this window, and now obviously it's been a topic of conversation with the overlap of we're still playing games while the portal's open. So some teams are already full throttle for next year, while some teams are still trying to finish out what they're trying to accomplish this year. And maybe that's why there's just more sense of urgency around you got to get your guy in place now so you can go about your business moving forward. I don't know, but
I just feel
it's exhausting.
Yeah, the journalists though, the media, I mean, it's not just sports, it's everything right now, and it has been like that for a while. But every journalist just wants that. They want that hot button. They want
the clicks.
They want to be the one that created all of this animosity and drama or whatever to get the clicks. And so that's why they do that, is because that's what they want that rise.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating. But again, this is not just sports. It's just the world we live in, and it's only going to get worse. But yeah, that's my point. That's why I couldn't do it, because I would be like you. I'd be like, shut up and sit down. Why are you asking these questions?
Yeah, and it's just frustrating. Again, so let's talk about the games that are actually on the field. Now that I've got off that soapbox of leave DeBoer alone, I think he looks like Steve Stricker and should be on the Champions Tour in golf. But so tonight, everything kicks off. Our friend Laura Rutledge and folks will be in Norman tonight. Alabama, Oklahoma played each other earlier in the year. Oklahoma getting the win. Again, who do y'all have tonight? And it's two coaches, in my opinion, one who's already proven himself, took Washington to a national championship, took him to a playoff, is the reason he's in Alabama. And you got Brent Venables trying to set his mark and make his mark at OU. Who you got tonight?
This is a tough matchup for OU, in my opinion. It's the 8-9 matchup. OU's favored, in Vegas 5.5. To me, it's a tough matchup just from a psychological standpoint of Alabama is still a standard. I know it's not Saban anymore, but just the name Alabama is a standard. And I can't imagine a month ago when OU goes to Tuscaloosa and wins, that's huge. And it's like, we beat Alabama, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we got to do it again. I'm worried about the psychological piece for the Sooners. I know they're at home, but I
think having to do it twice is the problem.
Twice in the same season. I'm not in the OU locker room, but I just feel like there was this sense of letdown. I don't know if that's the right word, but just, oh my gosh, we've got to prepare again after such a mountain of an accomplishment of what they did just a month ago. Now they've got to do it again. I'm leaning towards Alabama tonight.
Yeah, it is going to be a tall order, but I've got OU in this one, and I think that this is going to be a very close game. That's my prediction. But just like everyone said, Tech would have a hard time beating BYU and Tech.
Valid point. Yep.
So I'm going to say that the Sooners can get it done.
Do you think part of an advantage not only being at home for OU could be the coach distraction on the other side for Alabama?
Oh, I mean, a little bit, but I think them being at home, I have been there. I have attended a game there. Wow. I mean, it is wild. It is Boomer Sooner rocking. I mean, it's insane. One of the most insane places I've ever watched a football game at. And so I think being at home will give them the advantage tonight.
And tomorrow we'll wait on the 11 o'clock game because I think it is the game of the day. We were talking in the break. It'd have been nice to have one of the other two, either James Madison and Oregon or Tulane and Ole Miss tonight, and book in Saturday with A&M Miami in the morning and book in OU Norman, OU and Alabama at night. But it's not happening. So you've got Tulane and Ole Miss tomorrow in the middle at 2:30. Coach Golding trying to find a way. Hey, let's go. I'm going to be the guy. They've trusted me with this Lane Kiffin stuff. Let's see what happens. Ole Miss and Tulane played each other earlier. Ole Miss up, favored by 17.5. Ole Miss wins this. I think they do it in a way that's heavy. I also think that Tulane has the same thing as coaching issues in that the coach is about to leave and he's going somewhere else. And so how focused are you? And because you know your chances are about like the Cowboys making the playoffs.
Well, I will say this. Kudos to Coach Summerall, Tulane. It's an uphill battle tonight. He's moving on to bigger and better. I think he's earned the right to move on to bigger and better. I think when you look at he and Kiffin and the quote-unquote controversy around how they went about their business, it's different. Summerall donated back $100,000 to Tulane, as a parting gift. I think that's awesome. He's going to coach them through. Talent-wise, I don't think they're there. I would love to see them just keep it close. Just let's have a little intrigue going into the fourth quarter. I don't know if it will exist. Yeah, Ole Miss, they'll survive at home tonight.
Yeah, I feel this will be total domination for them. And, I don't have Ole Miss as my champion, but boy, I'd love it just to be like, take that, Lane.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, they are the darling of the ball.
They are, absolutely.
Because the two Cinderellas, they know their slippers are not fitting even when they get the pumpkins already just boom, it's there for those two. Oregon, James Madison, I think that's another runaway. Dan Lanning's name. And here's the thing, and it's frustrating, and I get it because we are in sports radio and we are looking for things to cover, and their topics is they've already started talking. DeBoer leaves and go to Michigan. Dan Lanning possibly being an Alabama guy. It's like, stop moving the checkers. Leave them there. And I think they take care of business. Miami tomorrow at College Station should be in an electric atmosphere there at Kyle Field. This is obviously, I think this is one of the games that you want for college football playoff bracket. It is Bears, Packers, Chiefs, Bills type atmosphere. Will A&M be able to bounce back? It's been a while since Thanksgiving. It's been a while since they played football, and it's been a while since they won. What did Texas expose of A&M that will benefit the Hurricanes tomorrow?
Well, a lot's been exposed really over the course of the last month. If you think about, South Carolina had A&M down, 28 or a lot there at halftime. A&M able to come back, but Aggies haven't really played good football in a month. They had a Samford game there in the middle, and then Texas really made them look bad the day after Thanksgiving. I'm curious to see if the Aggies still have anything left in the tank. I would like to think that they do. Miami sneaks in. They get kind of the quote-unquote last spot over Notre Dame. Do they have some motivation? Kyle Field, man, I think it's the X factor tonight. I'm gonna lean towards the Aggies that they figured things out in the last 2 weeks.
Who do you have in that one?
I've got the Aggies as well, but I am a little bit curious. I'm hoping that they were able to take their time and make some adjustments. And yeah, Kyle Field will be rocking. And yeah, I'm with Andy. I think it will be the difference maker.
I got the Aggies too. Here's the deal. Carson Beck has played in games like this.
True.
Yeah.
This is not new territory for him. He's been on the stage, and if he doesn't get lit up, he may help the Bulldogs win a national championship. I've got the Aggies, probably more of a homer pick, homer / state of Texas pick,
Yes.
and playing at home pick as well. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, all the things there, and so I've got them winning as well. Who do you have advancing? The next weeks, you've got Tech and our deal would be playing Oregon, Indiana. You have OU. I have Alabama. Andy has Alabama. Alabama, Indiana, Georgia playing Ole Miss, which should be entertaining, and then Ohio State playing A&M. Who do you have advancing there?
Oh gosh, so my bracket.
We can start at the bottom. Ohio and A&M.
So this is probably not a popular choice, but I'm gonna stick with the Aggies. Because there will be some upsets along this journey, and again, probably a homer with state of Texas pick, but I'm gonna pick the Aggies because someone is going to shock, and I'm gonna pick the Aggies.
Last year, 3 of the 4 teams who play opening round home games won round 2 as well. I think there's some momentum to being able to play in week 1 and taking that momentum into the bowl game scenario where, you already have the experience of college football playoff and you're riding the wave of a home game and a win. It's at the Cotton Bowl. It's in Dallas. It'll be heavy A&M fan base again. I know Ohio State's had a lot of success in Jerry World over the years, but I'm kind of liking the homer pick too. We'll push the Aggies into the semifinals.
Yeah, I've got the Buckeyes moving on. Georgia, Ole Miss. I really do. He reminds me of a guy that you could throw him at. You picked a small school in Texas, and he would coach like crazy as a high school coach. I would love to see Ole Miss win. I've got Georgia advancing. Do y'all have Georgia?
Same. I've got Georgia.
Yeah, the
as well.
adrenaline of Lane Kiffin and trying to do it without him wears off.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yep.
Indiana against your OU. Indiana against Alabama. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman last week, pretty much running away with it, had no chance. Anybody else winning that? The Diego Pavia guy is really starting to.
He needs to go.
Yeah.
He is becoming Manziel before Manziel.
Yep.
Not a fan at all. That's another day for another time. I've got Indiana winning this. I think Sengeti, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid of Sengeti, and I want to Google him. I've got the Hoosiers moving on.
I like Mendoza. I think he's a stud. He made a comment before the Penn State game that just resonated with me. The sideline reporter asked him, "Hey, Indiana's never won at Penn State. What do you think?" He goes, "This Indiana team has never played Penn State," and they ended up winning. I love Signetti. I love Mendoza. Give me the Hoosiers.
Yeah, so I am actually going to stick with the Sooners here and go against the grain. I've got a couple of brackets, but this is the one I'm looking at currently. So we're going to roll with OU, but I'm pretty sure I've got Indy in the other one, but it's fine.
And when we come back, Misty's other bracket.
Yeah, my other bracket. But yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with OU on this one.
Okay, we're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We got Tech, Oregon. One that I wish was in Jerry World. But again, Oregon has to go all the way across the country. We'll be back right after this.
That's going to be a hard pick.
I'm so excited for football. I'm just so excited for football. Like, oh, this is my time.
I don't like about it though is the break.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I hate it too.
I don't like the fact that the national champion is crowned in the middle of
I think
the second semester.
They're about to fix all that, I think.
I hope so.
I think they got to go 16. I think you get rid of the buys because there's something about hosting a college football playoff game.
Yeah.
I think you throw in 4 more teams. You eliminate the group of 5.
The automatic.
You give one group of 5 person that's it.
Yeah.
If you go to 16, then you say you're the highest ranked. Because here's the thing: if Virginia beats Duke, James Madison is out. Notre Dame is still. All those people that were out were still out, and Virginia is James Madison.
That's not much better.
It's
Yeah,
not much
no.
better.
No.
But they were talking about the overlap of, transfer portal. These guys are still playing. These teams are moving,
Oh, the calendar is stupid.
Yeah, so that's the big topic I've heard is you have to have the season over by the start of the spring semester. We've got to get this over by January 3rd, 4th, 5th.
What are your thoughts on the bowl games? I mean, we're,
It's a dying breed.
yeah, we talked about that last week. It was like, what's the one word that comes to mind when you think of bowl games? And I said trash and Josh said garbage.
Yeah.
But it was just like, what are we doing? Like, so stupid. I get it. It's like the glorified field trip or whatever, but I'm like, they're just not watchable, most of
I
them.
had that bowl game at the Star last night. It was like Arkansas State and Missouri State, and there were like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people there.
Yeah.
And that's parents.
Yes,
probably
that's
and
parents,
alumni.
grandparents, alum, aunts and uncles, cousins. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like, get rid of them.
I mind having them.
I mean, what do they do for the sport? Like really? Now before they were a bigger deal, but now nobody gives a crap about
Well,
the
I
bowl
think
games.
the it's not so much the Boca Raton Bowl any bowl before December 30th was what these are anyway.
Right.
The problem is your bowls that are Texas and Michigan, your bowls that Notre Dame would be playing A&M
Yeah,
if
if
they
it's your
weren't.
like blue bloods, of course, but that's not the way.
But
the
your
cookie
old
crumbles.
school Orange Bowl, your Sugar Bowl, and all those things that had, I mean, the Rose Bowl was Big Ten versus somebody else
Mhm.
out west. It was a big deal.
I mean, give me the
Though-
Pop-Tart bowl though. I'm a big toaster.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
that one's
but
cute.
but the problem is not the problem. The Pop-Tart Bowl has become the bowl, and it's BYU and Georgia Tech. If everybody on those two teams play, you're going to want to watch that game.
Yeah.
I think they've got to figure out a way. And I know college and high school are not identical twins. But if you and Regina got a job X and you had to move Cooper in February,
Mm-hmm.
you take your grades, you take your paperwork, and you go to X school district and you give them, and he enrolls on Monday on February 8th.
Yeah.
No matter what he's done, he just enrolls in school. They got to figure out a way, how can we do that and let people enroll after the national championship, do all that. Coach Traylor from UTSA, all about the transfer portal timeline. He goes, tampering's happening.
Sure.
Hot mess express. You can
But-
turn that. It's been on me for a while. Give Andy some.
But they've got to get it on
I
16.
don't want it. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge. We're going through our brackets as the college football playoff kicks off tonight in Norman, Oklahoma, as the Alabama Crimson Tide head into Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. Kick everything off tonight. Again, Oklahoma, a 1.5 favorite, 7 o'clock kickoff tonight. We have gone through Indiana. I've got them advancing. Misty does not. Misty has OU beating Indiana. We all have Georgia. Misty has A&M beating Ohio State. That is her, I guess we would call that her super dog if we were on game day. And we got to Tech and Oregon. We assume Oregon's going to take care of business tomorrow against James Madison. And Tech and Oregon, you mentioned it earlier, Andy, of the teams that did not get home games and that the bye was not beneficial. It'll be interesting to see what does Coach McGuire and the Red Raiders do as they head to Miami to take on what we would call a blue blood, who ironically they are blue blood, but Oregon always comes to seem to be the come up short team.
There's some truth in that. So that's a dangerous matchup. Of all the teams, I think, for Tech to have to play, Oregon's a tough one, only because blue blood's the right word. They've been doing it for a decade now as far as postseason, something to play for in the postseason in college. I also think with them playing James Madison, half of their coaching staff has been scouting, prepping for Texas Tech. They can pull off a win versus James Madison with a subpar game plan. That's the best way to say that. So I think a lot of attention's already been put on Texas Tech. The plus side for Tech, extra week of rest. You're talking about an Oregon team that's got to go from West Coast to East Coast and all the travel involved. 11 a.m. kickoff, which is a 9 a.m. kickoff Pacific time. Does any of that play into it? But this is one for me, this isn't college game day for me, but Alex Smith at Utah's picking Utah, Marcus Mariota at Oregon's picking Oregon, Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech's picking Tech. I'm a Tech guy. We're going the Red Raiders at the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna Dallas Cowboy this, and it's our year, baby. It is our year as a Red Raider. We've never been here. This is our year. I won't root against them, though. I am very nervous about this game. I will say and will admit it. They keep going, but yeah, I'm gonna keep rolling with the Red Raiders.
And I think one of the biggest reasons why you can go with the Raiders, the Red Raiders, is because something that's not ever been in the Big 12, at least for a long time, is defense. And you can put them up against anybody in the country when it comes to defense. I think the difference is going to be, can the Red Raider offense, can Baron Morton, can those guys put points on the board and not give Oregon extra chance? If you turn the ball over and give an Oregon Duck offense more opportunities than they deserve, or you gift them to them, it becomes a problem. And so I've got Tech winning as well. I do think, they talked about, I was coming in yesterday and listening to a show, and they were talking about why they were shocked and disappointed that A&M is A&M, and that they didn't position Tech in a way to host the Cotton Bowl.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Because we saw what they did with championship. They would have packed that place out. And I think Red Raiders will still travel to Miami. It's a reason to go out west or go out east, to go out to the beach and do all those things. It's a reason to go out to Miami. But it'll be interesting to see, because I've said all along, Oregon, right, wrong, and different, they've played in big games. Coach Danny Lanning has coached in big games. Coach McGuire's won state championships. And last 2 weeks ago, or it seems like a month ago, he coached in the Big 12 championship. But each game from here on out is bigger. It's bigger than Arizona State on the road. It's bigger than Manhattan on the road against K-State. It's bigger than playing BYU twice. Each round, like any other video game, the next level is bigger, and we'll see what happens. I've got Tech winning as well. So who do you have in the championship? I've actually got Indiana winning it all. I will be okay if I'm wrong and Tech beats them. I've got Indiana winning it all. Who do you have, Misty?
Obviously, I've got the Red Raiders winning it all. Christmas miracles. I don't know.
So do you have that? Would put Tech
I've
in.
got Tech in A&M.
So you got A&M beating Ohio State.
I've got Texas.
You got
capitalizing
Texas
on this.
A&M beating Ohio State and Georgia.
I mean,
No, I'm just reading. I'm reading off your 12 brackets.
As you said it, I was like, that kind of sounds ridiculous.
No,
but,
it's fine. I'm just reading off your bracket.
Yes,
That's what you have.
In this particular bracket, that is the truth.
Okay. All right,
I believe my other bracket has Tech in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of red and black in the
There's
stands.
a lot of red and black.
I'm going with the number 1 seed. They've earned the right to be there. They've won at Oregon. They've beaten Ohio State. They can take care of the Big Ten. They'll get a chance to play the SEC probably in the championship game. I'll take Indiana.
I got Indiana as well. Again, I'm drinking the Signetti Kool-Aid. He's won. You talk about winning wherever you've been. He's done that, and he's got kids bought in. And so we'll see what happens. We've got Indiana Hoosiers winning too, and it's not the basketballs. It is.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Indiana
so
winning the college football.
How about Mendoza calling his mom mommy from the stage?
Yeah.
I was like,
Talking
this guy is
Spanish.
so
Talking
wholesome.
Spanish.
Like, he's
to his
so
grandparents.
wholesome.
Well
Yeah.
done. Yep.
Yes, I was just like, oh, I'm so glad he won. He was my pick.
Again, that's our brackets. Get them filled out. Again, you got till tonight. Oklahoma, Alabama kickoff. Again, that's our Tyler Cagle Law Firm College Football Report. Appreciate Tyler Cagle and all they do. If you need a lawyer, 325-232-8075. Give Tyler a call. Now, we're going to transition before we do some picks in the game with some NFL games. This came to my mind a couple weeks ago, and you mentioned last night, Misty, you attended one, and it's busy time things. Secret Santa and the gift situation. Are you the type that fun, make people laugh, make people blush? What's your thoughts when it comes to either the Secret Santa gift or where they do the white elephant gift exchange? When you go to an event, what's your thought process in purchasing?
So I think it depends on like where I'm at. Like, are these my coworkers? Or is this my, friends that I've had for the last 15 years? I think, facilities matter. Where you're at matters. We always say. So I think it just depends. I am one who I think I'm a funny person. So I'm always down to make somebody laugh. I think laughter is the best medicine. And so I try to be creative if I'm trying to make somebody laugh. But again, I think it goes back to where I'm at. And sometimes, I need to know the rules. Like, is it a gag gift? Because the worst thing is when
they get that wrong.
Yes.
Yes,
or like,
guilty.
right. Like we got to hear this story in a minute, but it's terrible. Or if I'm gifts are one of my love languages. So I take pride in, I'm a sentimental person. Like, I'm going to try to get you something that you're going to like. And if I get something dumb in return, and I maybe missed the mark, and maybe it was supposed to be more of a gag gift situation, or someone did that and all the other gifts were great, I may be a little salty. Like, I'm not going to lie. So I need to know, I need the clarity.
Well, to me, I think it's right up there with attire. When somebody sends out an invitation for something and they don't tell you what the attire is,
yes.
and you walk into like a Legally Blonde situation and they told you it's a costume and you're in a bunny suit and everybody else is not,
Yes.
You don't want to do that with your gift. So I totally agree. Like, what the room and the people know your audience is important, but I agree. I think you need that information. So what was your stuff?
If it's a Sunday school party, go conservative. I'll just say that's the best way. Know your audience. That's the best way to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
and I'll tell you what triggered this question was a couple weeks ago. We have a Christmas party thing, and it's exchange, and it's a mixture. Like one year, somebody bought a whole white styrofoam cooler full of a bag of frozen burritos that you would get at a convenience store. I don't want to give them any props without, advertising, that you buy fried burritos in a bag. And everybody thought that was funny and good. Some have had alcoholic beverages and all these things. And it got me thinking, and this particular party, there's always blankets and candles. So we, in fact, started tallying how many people brought a blanket or a candle. And so the gifts were actually pretty good. And you could tell the ones that people were eyeing, like, yeah, you're not keeping that. It's going to get stolen. Well, this one guy, he got this Christmas dish thing. Make sure I got good on time. This Christmas dish thing. And it was like you would serve, like if you were having entertainment and you were going to put cookies or maybe put some chips and a dip in it or whatever.
Like, he didn't want it. Like
100%.
He didn't want. He's like, hey, this is still available to steal.
But this is what made me think of this. In that room of 37 people is because everybody brought a gift, and there's 30.
Oh, that must have taken forever.
It went faster than you think. But what made me laugh was the poor person that brought that was seeing the other side of the room just talking trash. Yeah, about that guy not wanting it, trying to pawn it off like it was like he was ringing the bell in front of a grocery store, just trying to get rid of this gift. And my thought was, the bottom line is, you don't want to be that person in either scenario. You don't want to be, like you said, you don't want to be the receiver of that gift.
No.
And then you don't want to be the one that brought the gift that nobody wants. See, to me, I think that's the most important thing when it comes to it. And then the other deal is, and I know we got a little bit of time and we've got to go to break and finish the show, but it's like when you go to pick up the gift, it's always like, what's my strategy? That's light, probably gift card. That's heavy, probably, how do you do it? Because what you don't want to do is pick up and like, anyway, but that's what triggered this conversation, was because that 2 weeks ago, ironically, his name is Jerry Jones, not the Cowboys owner, but he was trying to get rid of this. And me and my buddy Slate and Rand were over here, and we're like, yeah. And it just hit me. It was like, somebody in this room, ironically, could be sitting next to him.
Brought it.
He's trying to get rid of this dish because he feels like he got hosed.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, I got to give a shout out to my boss, Katie Alford. She's amazing, but she came up with a really fun Christmas party for us this year. And we actually went to Goodwill, and we all had a certain amount of money, and we did like a supermarket sweep type situation where our team divided up into like threes, and it was like, okay, ready, go. And we only had a few minutes to go throughout the store and buy things. And then we went back to our office and did like a exchange. I think we like rolled dice and, two to the left, one to the right, across the way, or whatever it was. But that was so much fun. So if you're looking for something new that may be a little bit different, and you can support
Look at a fashion show after.
yeah, well, it was so funny to see what people picked. And like some people went with like a theme, like our CFO, his birthday is July 4th. So he like found these really awesome July 4th, like little candy dishes that were stars and stripes. And then he had like a visor, and Katie ended up with that gift. And we were rolling because we were like, wow, you were on theme. And so it was really fun. And then obviously you're supporting a nonprofit. So that was really fun. So kudos to Katie for such a fun Christmas party for us this year at the Community Foundation. But yeah, I love stuff like that. And it is sad when you're like, I always get a gift that if I came home with it, I would be happy. But again, the whole guy-girl situation, it gets tough because that's a girl gift and no guy wants a serving dish. Let's just be real.
No. And
so that's unfortunate for your friend.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if I would have gotten that and it's a cute Christmassy thing, I could have put it to use.
I can assure you.
Tell him he can regift it to me.
I can
I'll
assure you, I
allow
bet
it.
there's no chance in the world that he has not already given that away. All right, when we come back, pop in crazy question. I'm going to pull my own Misty's bag when we come back.
Ooh. That's not allowed.
That makes me nervous.
You act like this is your show.
Huh?
You act like this is your show.
We've got a group that we do White Elephant, and it was this ugly baby doll that was passed around every year. Somebody had to keep it, but everybody knows now when that bag comes in, that's the baby doll.
Yeah.
So we got it last year because we were rookies to this party.
Oh.
So we made a calendar, like
Oh, that's awesome.
pictures of
the baby.
Yeah, so they didn't know that.
Oh, that is epic.
They didn't know that the bag was.
That is amazing. Stuff like that. Like, I think that's hilarious.
So, yeah, so we made a calendar, and in there it had adoption papers, so they got the babies.
Oh, that is
They
hilarious.
didn't know that's what it was.
See, that is like my type
fun.
of. Yeah, I love the fun.
Fun stuff.
Go to the restroom real quick. Or were you going to the restroom? You're not now.
What are y'all doing? Y'all going to Waco next week?
No, everybody's coming to us. Because Drew's window of being here is really tiny with basketball, OSU basketball. So he said, Dad, is there any way they can come to us? Because I'm so tired of traveling. We'll ask. And they were willing. So they're all coming to us. So Regina's crew for 2 days, 24th and 25th, and then my crew that weekend, whatever that, 27th. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're all here within 4 days.
What's up, boy?
So.
Okay, I'll turn in.
Hey, ironically, Social Live just played one.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a great gift.
It was
The
cool.
baby, yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Like I've been to parties where they put like a picture of somebody on like the Jesus candles.
Oh, yeah.
And that's always funny. Last night at the Kirby Smith Machinery. Okay, I may need to ask this with Hodge. How do you eat a banana? Like,
I peel the whole thing. Is that what you're saying?
yes. Okay, so you peel the whole thing
Yep.
and then you just hold the banana.
I typically peel the whole thing half. Eat one half. And then
Okay, so this subject came up of last night because there was this big mechanic guy and he's great, love him, very sweet guy. Well, they were like in a meeting or something, I don't know. And this guy, he peels the whole banana and he's holding the banana and he's eating the banana, the whole thing, just okay. So they took a picture of him with the banana and they made it an air freshener that's banana scented.
Oh, man.
And so this whole Hodge, how do you eat a banana? First of all, do you eat bananas? How do you eat a banana?
I peel and just.
You eat it as you peel? Like the peel's
I
still
peel
on?
it down.
Peel the whole thing?
And then you're just holding it?
I leave the peel on.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I eat a banana.
I don't want to hold the banana.
Right. So Andy.
Ain't nobody want to hold no banana.
Yeah. So Andy's crunching his in half and holding two sides of the banana.
I feel the whole thing and break
Count
Like a
him.
Kit Kat.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So last night at the Kirby Smith party, a guy holds the whole thing but peels it. So so he's holding this banana. Somebody takes a picture and they make him an air freshener that's banana scented. It was epic.
That's fantastic.
And so it got me thinking, how do people eat bananas? I didn't know you were supposed to peel the whole thing.
Save that for 2026 because that's gold. Welcome back to the Hodgepodge as we get ready to send you into the weekend. College football playoff tonight. Again, don't forget to get the brackets filled out. Potosi Live, Live Landing Cattle, and Mulligans along with other stuff in that package. So be sure you sign up for that to be the winner. State championships happen again as well. Real quick, there's a couple of football games that I think are huge this weekend. Those being Bears. Of course, Cowboys are playing the Chargers. But the two big games are the Packers, Bears, and Broncos, Jaguars. I think those will be great games to watch. Cowboys play the afternoon game. Hopefully they can find a way to win. Coaches matter, I guess, in the NFL. You see what Ben Johnson's done and Liam Cohen has done there at Jacksonville. Should be some good weekend of football all the way around.
Yeah, I think so. And, Packers Bears just played like 2 weeks ago. It's crazy that they're already coming back around. And, Bears at home, I kind of like that. Yeah. What will the Micah Parsons effect be for the Packers? I don't know, but that'll be fun to watch. I'm just glad to see a lot of meaningful football here with just a couple weeks left to go. There's some good matchups still scheduled.
Big time. All right, so here, I told you I was going to pull a Misty's bag. This is for some. For Misty, it's the last show of the year. Be back in 2026 is Christmas next week, and then you'll have some time off as well. Literally, it's funny. It reminds me. I compare us all the time to Unsportsmanlike. Me being Evan Cohen, Josh, and now Andy, Chris Canty, and you are Michelle Smallman. And Michelle's doing the same thing. So what was your Hodgepodge moment of the year? Do you have one that could pop in sports or in studio, show related or sports related? I'm going to let you think on it. Andy, do you have a sports moment of the year?
Oh, man. On the spot here. I'm not.
Now, this is how you do the bag. Boom!
Yeah, this
I learned it
there's
from
so
Misty.
many.
Learned it from Misty.
Oh, I guess on the local level with what Tech's done, won basketball last year. Grant McCaslin pushed into the Elite Eight, had a chance to get to the Final Four, and then what we've seen in football here in the fall. That's been fun as a Red Raider to watch that. I don't know if it's the moment of the year. It's been enjoyable to watch as an alum. So
I think that's very much up there because it changed. Because all the talk, if you want to talk about things that were talked about this year, was the amount of money Cody Campbell and that group had pumped into Tech,
right,
and that it's seeing come to fruition. And then when you ask somebody like Jacob Rodriguez, what do you think about all this money it's been spent? He goes, well, if you're going to spend the money, why not buy the best? And they're trying to prove that, and they'll get a chance to do that.
And throw in softball too. I forgot to mention Texas Tech softball in the College World Series final too. So.
Yeah, Texas Tech overall, I think, would definitely have to be up there. I'll give you my worst, although you did not ask for it, and that would be the Luka trade in the middle of the night.
But I think that's a moment. I think you're right.
It's a moment, but it wasn't the best moment. No. I think it was the worst moment, but that is definitely up there. It has to be for sure. In terms of the show, and, again, I like to have fun. Sometimes I say things that they come out and then I'm like, oh, maybe that I shouldn't have said that. And so I made a reference.
No offense, Miss. We only have 5 minutes left. You're going to run down that whole list.
Yeah. I made a comment the other day about Josh Allen, and I literally did not think about it when I said it. And it was just so funny. And I mean, there have been moments this whole show, but that I'm like crying, like we're all three just crying over something that one of us has said. Most of the time it's me, because I'm like, oops, that's what she said comment.
Right.
And my favorite thing is when I can get Josh and Hodge just like literally tears in their eyes because we cannot get it together and we're just dying laughing. There's been some really great moments this year for that.
Yeah, for sure. I would say, and again, we're excited. January. A lot coming. Be on the lookout, not only from the Hodge Pack, but the Country Giant and Greg and JB and Jones. And so just, next month we'll be celebrating 7 years of the Hodge being on. And so
That's so crazy.
yeah, and so it's been
Gosh.
been a lot of fun with that. And so when I look back at as far as the year, I think Tech. I agree. The recency bias is hard because you did just see what Gordon did and Coach Reed and Jayton and those guys have done. The hard part when you start reflecting on the year, you start trying to figure out what does that really entail. And when you think about, Andy made a good point, Tech softball brought it to the map. I also think a stretch for local Abilene was 3 of her playoff runs. Aaliyah Chavez stopping in Abilene on her way to a state champion was a pretty big deal. And so, but the Luca trade, the Micah trade were huge, huge events. Us getting to go, and thanks to Moy and those guys, us as a Hodge Pack group went to the Cowboy game. That was a lot of fun.
And First Take, I mean, that was
the
so
First
much
Take was fun, getting to meet Dan and being a part of that, and Jerry and
selfies with Jerry.
yeah, selfies with Jerry. I do think probably the moment for me on the show, which became I don't know if it was as viral as the Hermley deal, but the deviled egg.
Yes, that
the deviled
honestly
egg was
probably the best.
a moment that I will greatly.
You're doing that again for Christmas, right?
Negative. Zero bets will be done with a deviled egg ever again.
That was probably that and the Hermley softball thing was probably the most viral videos that we have had on this show in years.
Yeah, it was. Still don't know what you.
Gosh, it was so funny.
I still don't know how you people get to where you want to put a lot in your mouth, much less one. But no, it's been a good year. Again, I'll be back next week with on the 26th. And of course, Cowboys play Christmas Day. And of course, obviously, their 1% will be over after Sunday when the Eagles beat the Commanders. That will end the Cowboys 1%. And then it will open up as we get close to the end. We'll have 12 cut down to how many? Do my math, Andy? After this weekend,
down to 8 this weekend.
We'll have 12 down to 8 next. And of course, what's crazy is they won't play for another 2 weeks. And then, of course, we'll crown a national champion sometime in March. I'm joking. It seems like it's that long. But again, we appreciate you, the listeners. We always do. It's so great being out there. You guys listening and telling us, giving us stories to talk about and all the things. Andy, appreciate you coming in and
Always
popping in.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
And Misty, have a great Christmas and enjoy hopefully your nails make it to your beach.
I hope so. I'll be looking more tan in 2026.
We'll see about that. We'll see how that goes.
It's going to take a lot.
Don't eat the fruit. All right. Hey, don't forget, again, JB Cloud later today. Of course, Greg Austin. Enjoy continuing to listen to KOGD 106.9. We are the Country Giant and the Hodge Pack, sports, life, and everything in between. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week. Cowboys will be done, and the Tech Red Raiders will have an opponent. See you next week.
Woo woo.
Good stuff.
Yeah, great.